Well, an American Olympian is making history before the Games even begin. Fencer Ibtihaj Muhammad will be the first American to compete while wearing a hijab. She says her goal in Brazil really isn't just to win gold, but in fact to make a bigger point about identity. Our own Elaine Quijano has Muhammad's story.
It's rewarding to feel really powerful.
A lunge, a saber flick, a counter parry. Fencing is as elegant as it is fierce and fast. After 2 decades of fitness training, sparring, and lots of lunging, 2016 is the year for fencer Ibtihaj Muhammad.
I still don't believe I'm going to the Olympics this summer. It's still this surreal kind of, moment in my life.
The self-described Jersey girl and 3-time All-American at Duke University is going to her first Olympic Games.
I just feel very blessed to have qualified for the team, and it's just, I'm so excited, and I'm like, when is this excitement going to wear off?
Fence.
She will experience another first in Rio by becoming the first American to compete in the Olympics wearing a hijab.
I feel like my hijab is liberating. It is a part of who I am, and I believe that it allows people to see me for my voice and not necessarily how I look. I hope that it'll change a lot of the misconceptions that people have about Muslim women specifically.
Muhammad chose fencing as a kid because, unlike other sports, it allowed her to both honor her Muslim faith and blend in.
It was the first time where I truly felt a part of the team. It was the first time I was in uniform with everyone else, and I didn't have to adjust it in any way by adding length to the sleeves or wearing, pants when everyone else had on shorts.
Way to go, Ibti, yeah!
I started working with Ibtihaj in my garage.
Frank Mastilli, Muhammad's first coach, knew she had the aggressive, analytical approach to excel.
You knew she'd be a champion.
I knew she would be a champion. There's not a whole lot of children that walk in here and have that look, to be able to look through the opponent and say, you're not even there. Because you know what? I'm focused on that gold medal, and you just happen to be between me and it.
So you ready?
Muhammad ran us through the basics of saber fencing.
As ready as I'll ever be.
The stance.
This is your fencing on guard.
The weapon.
You hit with slashing motion, so you're hitting with the sides.
The attack.
Yeah, push off your back leg. Go. 1, 2. Nice.
The strategy.
I always compare it to to chess.
So it's their strategy.
Their strategy, and you want to be a step ahead of your opponent.
Muhammad says she owes it to her community to use her platform as an Olympic athlete to speak out against hate.
We're in this time where people are very comfortable, speaking out against Muslims. I had a man encounter me on the street and told me that I looked suspicious and that I looked like I was going to blow something up. And he followed me to my train. I felt so unsafe, and I was afraid. Here I am, a U.S. Olympian, and that's my reality.
Muslim Americans enrich our lives today in every way.
A reality President Obama acknowledged earlier this year at a Baltimore mosque.
When Team USA marches into the next Olympics, one of the Americans waving the red, white, and blue will be a fencing champion wearing her hijab. Ibtihaj Muhammad, who is here today. Stand up. Come on, let me... There you go.
And even though Muhammad was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people, when she puts on that helmet in Rio, she'll be just another American athlete focused on winning the gold.
I tell people all the time that I'm just, a girl from Jersey who had a dream and was willing to work hard for it.
And Elaine Quijano, good enough to join me now. Welcome back, by the way.
Thanks. Still recovering. Exactly. The quads are still feeling it a little, but it was fun.
It's interesting. She talks about the platform that she knows she has. And, we ask so much of our athletes, especially every 4 years, when they are thrust against the backdrop of geopolitics. And certainly now in this country, specifically now, this hour, where we are. It seems a platform thrust upon her, but one she's very comfortable with.
Absolutely, and she recognizes this enormous responsibility. I asked her about that. Do you ever feel like it's too much to be this role model? And in her view, she feels that she's supposed to be out and talking about what it means to be a Muslim in America, what it means to be an African American. You know, it is interesting when you ask her how she identifies, she will go in that order. She considers herself a Muslim, an African American, and a fencer. And it's a very strong identity for her that she knows she cannot separate. And so wearing the hijab, she understands, for some will be viewed as a political statement, but for her is obviously part of her religious tradition. So she's very open to explaining, this is just who I am. This is how many other people in this country are. And we are ordinary Americans, just like everyone else. We have these experiences, though, as she said, from time to time, where we don't have the same sense of understanding others have, you know, when they look at us and they think for some reason we're different. She understands it is an enormous responsibility, but it's one that she is willing to take on.
Does she feel like it's baked into the cake at this point here in America, or does she feel as though she can make a real difference?
That's a good question. She does feel like she can make a difference. That's why she sat down with us. It's part of the reason why you'll see she's very visible on social media. She's on Instagram and Twitter, and she does her level best to get out anytime she can. If people ask her questions, she doesn't shy away from voicing her opinions. At the same time, she's not overtly political. But she just wants people to understand her perspective and to keep that in mind, even as there is political rhetoric out there that might cause them to believe things that aren't true.
I asked him to leave a little bit of extra time because
Please,
can
no.
we go back to the videotape?
Oh,
Let's re-rack the video.
Josh, why?
Look,
why?
Elaine, you know, this is interesting. This is a sport, right?
Oh my gosh.
This is a sport that
I am not an Olympian.
You watch it and you think to yourself, yeah, how hard can that be? But how hard can this be?
Oh, it is hard. Well, I was not joking about the quads, actually. So it's funny, I was talking to someone off camera just before I came on here, and the word this person used to describe this sport, because they've done it since high school, is primal. Primal is such a great word to describe this, because imagine, if you will, your focus only on this singular person in front of you. Every part of your body is trained on parrying that attack and defending yourself against that. It feels like life and death. It is really fun, very compelling, and I have tremendous respect for her. Yeah.
And you'll forgive me, there's a bit of a metaphor there, but we needn't pursue it. We're out of time.
Yes,
Elaine,
okay.
beautiful piece.
Thanks.
Thank you for it.
Thanks.